Hi friends, today we are going to solve common child problem from the string manipulation subsection of the interview preparation kit. So in the given problem statement, it states that a string is said to be a child of another string if it can be formed by deleting 0 or more characters from the other string. Letters cannot be rearranged. Given two strings of equal length, what's the longest string that can be constructed such that it is a child of both? So, honestly speaking, I don't say this much often, but this problem is of a difficult, it's kind of very difficult problem to solve because the way to solve this is non-intuitive. Although we already know that we have to use dynamic programming, but how to solve this? It is not something that will come to you intuitively unless you have been solving dynamic programming from a long, long time. But still, I think for this video, the explanation video for this is quite large, and I was searching YouTube to find something. So I've come across a video tutorial where the instructor has demonstrated the explanation of this video in a long time taking of an half an hour video length. So write the description I will write that in the description of this video so that you can go through it and try to understand the problem statement, try to understand the logic for this problem statement. For me, I will just write the coding part of it, but I will also share with you a snippet of it. So basically here for dynamic programming, so here you have to create a table. So table would be m cross n of both of the sequence, which would be the length of both of the sequence, and we will have to basically calculate the longest of string. So at the end, we are going, the number 4 is the longest of string that is going to be formed. So we would be getting that value, and this way you have to initialize it. But I would suggest you to please go and check this video if you're new to dynamic programming, or for anybody, like if you have been solving dynamic programming, still go through it because that video's description is quite wonderful. So let me write the problem. So as we could already understand from this problem statement, the space complexity would be n cross m, and m and n is basically going to be the length of the string. So s1 comma length of s2. Now we'll be creating the LCS, least common subsequence. So it should basically be the value of now. We have already created the table for storing these values. Now we'll create the for loops. So here we'll write two for loops. So from that you could basically get the time complexity of it. So as the space complexity, time complexity will also be n cross m. So here for I comma c1, where here you'll be using an enumerate function to basically get the value as well as the index of that in that loop. So I will be checking whether the values are same. So if c1 equal to c2, so basically we would be saying else. It will take the LCS value of the last two string and find the max of it. and at last it will be returning the last value that is been printed. So it will be return LCS n-1 and m. Now let's run the code. I hope it would work. Yeah, it passes the basic test cases successfully. Now let's go to submit the code. Although this problem statement solution is not a big one, but to understand the solution it would take some time because it is very non-intuitive way of solving a problem. Okay, so here we are getting a time limit exceeded problem. So let's check what we have done wrong. This basically should not come, but let's find out. Okay, we have taken Python 2, so we should be taking Python 3. This type of issues keeps on happening. Just be careful. Let's try to submit the code in Python 3. So I've seen these very unique issues where the problem statement in Python 2 gets passed and sometimes in Python 3 it gets passed and sometimes in both it does not get passed. So basically it is a problem which is okay, it is failing in Python 2, but this should be the solution, right? I know the solution is correct. Okay, very strange situation, right? So last time the same problem was not passing in Python 2 and this time it passed. So I'm not sure why this is happening. This should not happen in normal situation, but maybe for this problem there are certain issues which we are not sure about. So anyway, I think this is the problem statement, this is the solution of it, and I've checked multiple tutorials and all of them gave this solution only. So this should be correct, but still let me check once this one. Okay, there is one more solution to it, although I would not recommend you to use this one. But in this case it is not able to pass, so that's the only reason we would be using this one. So basically it would be try to even simplify the existing problem. So that's the basic idea. So we'll be taking two variables. So pref function, which value would be 0 multiplied by length of s2 plus 1 and the current length of s2 plus 1 for r in S1 for so here we basically are trying to even simplify the existing problem. Let's try to look at the how both of the problems are quite similar. So we are doing the same type of operation, but instead of doing it in an tabulation in a nested list of by storing those values of n cross m, here we'll be basically trying to store those values in just two lists of size s2 and s1. Let's run the code. I hope it would be correct. So here we have written the same problem, but we have increased the complexity, even though it does not look from the entire code that this problem is complex. But if we go through the inner details, it is kind of complicated. So in the last statement, we are just assigning the value of cur to prev and prev to cur. And apart from that, I think all of the statements are quite similar to the last one. So this is something kind of new. So you can go and check this out. There's problem too. So generally, in most cases, the earlier problem would give you the correct solution in most competitive exams. For this problem statement, as we are not sure, and I think that the constraints are even tighter. So we have to use a better approach. So here we have not decreased the time complexity. Here we have just decreased the space complexity. So that's the difference from the earlier way of solving the problem and this way of solving the problem. So you can choose which one to pick it out, but I would suggest you that choose the one which you're able to understand. And in case it does not get solved, which is very minute chances, then go for this one. I am pretty sure there would be other ways of solving this problem which would even reduce the. I'm not sure about the time complexity because I don't think this problem could be solved with a lesser time complexity of s1 s1 into s2 or m square. I don't think that it could be, but space complexity may be, but I'm not but you have to find it out. So if anybody is able to do that, please comment below. I think that would be really, really helpful. And I've been saying that few people are also asking me to solve a particular problem. So when you are trying to do that, so please give the link of that problem in your comments so that I could go and check out that problem. So sometimes people just name that problem. So I'm not able to find few of those problems which have been named. So it would be better if you just provide me the link URL of that problem statement. I could go and check it out and solve that problem for you guys. And as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned.